Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the second set of BO3s for you for the Esports Showdown Series Season 5 Valorant powered by Crucial by Micron with our GPU partner Zotac Gaming and your partner Gossip.gg. We're now back with, of course, the second set, which is going to be Deadlift going up against Zerofrags. Some certain best of 3 that can go all the distance here for all 3 maps, but it really does depend on whether or not the map selection is going to be proper or not here. Because in my opinion, Deadlift is one of those teams that really have showcased they are a force to be reckoned with. They can push any team to 3 maps, but they have a good strong start on map number 1 and their steam just disappears on map.
That's true. We've seen that happen already, and I am having high hopes from the side of Deadlift, but I do believe that Zerofrags is also going to bring in their A game into this one. As we discussed in the beginning of the day itself, this is the lower brackets games. Everyone here has to give their everything to every single round, and it's a do or die for them all across. They cannot really afford to make mistakes anymore, and whenever a team is in that situation, they do end up pacing up their whole performance by a lot. So we did end up seeing a disheartening 2-0 in the first match, but this one does not seem like it's going to follow through with the same storyline at all. This is definitely going to be a longer match, and hence a more entertaining one nonetheless.
You go in either direction, that is for certain. We're going to be jumping on down over in towards the brackets, ladies and gentlemen, to just witness the story from every single one of these teams up till now and the journey that Deadlift have to face. Deadlift, it was a sad story when they went up against X-Crew. The fact that they pushed X-Crew over to the edge there was one of the biggest changes, I would say, that none of us were expecting. X-Crew should have been the team to take it away because they took down Team Ace. They took out Ace in a 2-1. That is unheard of. And if a team is able to do that, they deserve to be in that grand final stage. But Deadlift being able to take that first round really showcased the brilliance this team is capable of, but they need more time to do that. exact playbook. And System Breakdown is possibly the best player on their team. He's on that controller, and he has so much impact being on that position.
True that, and the way System Breakdown goes ahead and plays his games is definitely scary for the opposite team, because again, every single time the player is alone, even in clutch situations, he does go ahead and deliver his best. So Team Deadlift versus Zerofrags, it's gonna be an interesting match nonetheless, plus also a very entertaining one all across. I am pretty excited to see who all are going to be jumping into the game from the side of Deadlift, because the players definitely have their own, set of skills that they're bringing to the table. But the amalgamation of all five is what is going to decide who takes the win today.
Absolutely. The highs and the lows are going to be present from either side of this, but whoever has the highest highs will, of course, be the one to come out on top no matter what happens. For now, though, giving them the benefit of the doubt and the small tad bits of opportunities to really turn things on its head, we're going to be jumping on down over to this Zerofrags lineup, because we have been talking about Deadlift quite a lot and how incredible they are. Zerofrags, they are nothing to scoff at either, because this team, they have proven time and time again with the roster that they do have that they're incredible in more ways than once, especially when you have a player like Because I'm Batman on your team.
Yep.
It's just tough because he's a superstar that can easily just turn everything around in a matter of a second.
True that, and Because I'm Batman does a great job on his duelist, but then again, F Noob is the one that I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled for, because this dude is not stopping at all anywhere near. He is just performing miracles after miracles on the role of Sentinel. He's going on picking killjoys and ciphers, and still turns out to be the person with the most frags altogether. He is just doing fantastic across the board. Already seen him play 2 maps. Excited for the next one.
Just gonna need to wait and see how this goes. Jumping on down over into Deadlift's lineup to see exactly what they have in their arsenal. We've already talked about it. A roster of 5 that are pretty much close to unstoppable when you think about it. If I do recall that they do have one more extra player on their roster known as Shields, who is not able to play. If I recall, he is from Bangladesh as well, so he's not going to be able to play in this roster. So technically, they're playing with a substitute on their team. Even then, this team has been incredible, to say the very least.
I agree. And as a team, they do perform very well. We discussed this yesterday as well. Individual brilliance, not as shiny as that of X Crew, but they are definitely a team that works together very well. Once we know which maps we're going to be going into, we can definitely determine which team is going to have a better shot at it, because some maps in Valorant are very team oriented, while some can be dealt with on individual basis. Sunset, a map that Deadlift had a great time on earlier, but then again, the first map is still going to be Lotus, which we did not really get to see yesterday, did we?
If I recall, we did see one game of Lotus yesterday, but then again, we haven't really seen Zerofrags on this particular map. I do believe that you were able to cast this one with the Sora.
Yes.
Zerofrags did match up on that one, and Because of Batman apparently was just tearing up the entire map with his own neon plays. So that's what the members of Deadlift really have to worry about, because unless they have their own neon to do the exact same thing, Kabir needs to fill in a lot of big shoes here if he wants to make his team go the distance for this particular map. It would either be a very fast 2-0, but because Sunset is on that second map, if they're able to take this, if Deadlift are able to take map number 1, they should be able to take this victory and move forward in that lower bracket.
Absolutely. Sunset has definitely been a good playground for the side of Team Deadlift, but then again, I think on Lotus, the problem with Deadlift was the fact that they are more inclined towards picking Raze instead of Neon, far as I can recall. So if that happens, then I don't think it's going to be as easy to get Lotus in their pockets. However, that's going to be the aim for both the teams. They would want the first map for themselves so that they can have a little more wiggle room towards the second map and be a little more confident about being able to survive through a loss. But yeah, this is definitely gonna be one hell of a ride, because Lotus is one of those maps which has way too much surface area to begin with. And the way teams go ahead and take control of it, the way teams go ahead and play around on it is very different, and it gives a lot of versatility to the play style that comes in.
Absolutely. It's kind of how the game of Valorant is. That there are certain situations where a team can really turn everything around if you give them the chance to do so. And Team Deadlift, they could just be the ones to make it all happen. We're going to be jumping on down over into a short interview with their players, see exactly what they have to say.
Hello guys, this is Hikam from outsmart.exe. With me I have System Breakdown from Deadlift. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, so without further ado, let's start with the questions. The first question I'm going to ask is, how do you approach adapting your playstyle to the ever-changing meta of Valorant?
You read on the game, right? Whenever new meta comes out, new map, new agents, what's your read on that agent or the map? That dictates a lot how you perceive that agent or new map change or anything, major changes. Maybe it might be economy or anything. I think if you have a good read on it early on, it helps.
The next question I'm going to ask is, how does your team maintain effective communication and teamwork, especially during high-pressure situations?
It's difficult, especially like when you have inexperienced players. It's difficult, but it's important that you take your time, and it changes with experience. When you play those high-pressure games, a lot of times experience comes and that helps in the long run.
The next question I'm going to ask is, what are your short-term goals and long-term goals for your team in the Valorant competitive scene?
Short term will be definitely getting far in this TEC tournament.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty important to me personally. And long term goal would be to get as close to VCT as possible. I wouldn't say like, at franchising, it's kind of a big goal. But getting as close to as VCT as possible, that would be the long term goal.
Last question I'm going to ask is, how have you prepared for this specific tournament and what are your expectations?
I mean, you prepare for any tournament the same way you always do, right? You practice, fix your problems. You hope that on the day of the actual game, people turn up in your team and perform well. And that's how you just go about things. If something's wrong with, let's say, a map or something, you just try to work on it. But at the end of the day, you have to perform on the game day. And as far as expectations goes, I'll be honest, I go one game at a time. I just want to win my next game. A top 2 wouldn't be too bad.
Okay. This was System Breakdown from Deadlift. I wish all the best for your next games and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
System Breakdown did have a lot to say for that one, and honestly speaking, his team fits so well. He loves to break down the system of the game of Valorant to the finest of details. Doesn't matter if his team is going through a tough one. He does bring in as much experience as he possibly can to really bring their spirits up, moving on down the line from there. But then again, System Breakdown, he already gave his 2 cents for that entire setup and how his team does operate. But I do believe, just as he stated previously, the inexperience is where this team really does suffer.
True that. And I guess more and more they keep playing, more and more they keep showing up, they're gonna keep on leveling up their gameplay. Not only that, I believe that more teams they fight against is gonna keep adding to their overall experience in the game. So I'm just waiting to see how well this whole thing is gonna function for them in this particular match, because this is gonna be a very difficult one. Again, a last shot, you don't have any more revivals, you do not have any more chances to get back into the game. It's not gonna be an easy one at all, and I want them to put their all into this one.
Absolutely. Their raw potential as players really will be tested in this particular matchup up against Zerofrags. We are going to be watching their interview later on after map number 1, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys are waiting for that, stay tuned onto the stream until the first map is going to be over. But as game number 1 is being set up on the map of Lotus, pretty much the overall composition has been set in stone for one of these teams. Deadlift, I do believe, will be the biggest X factor, because this is a team that does have a tendency of changing out their compositions depending on what their opponents have in their arsenal. Kabir, if he's having a good day, we know for a fact he will single-handedly take over an entire game. But how much can you really fall on one player if your other players are not able to rise up to the challenge as well, similar to what System Breakdown did yesterday? you might have a tough time playing the map of Lotus and being able to win it out against the team of Zerofrags' caliber.
True that. And that's where Team Deadlift is going to have to go ahead and step up. They need to make sure that if they're not able to find that experience, they need to bring things onto the table which are very out of the box and unexpected, so that the same problem is faced on the other side as well. Yes, there is experience, yes, there is game sense, which is on the heavier side for the side of the other team. But then again, if as Deadlift, you try to make sure that you're giving less and less opportunity to be able to be read, you're being more and more unpredictable, then Zerofrags might just be caught in the confusion a couple of times. I mean, it's the same story as the previous match between Ace and I think the way it was dealt by 120 FPS is how it should be coming in from the side of Deadlift as well. However, obviously a level beyond that to be able to win.
Absolutely. Take your time, take it slow, communicate with your teammates, and then come back stronger than ever. That's how the game of Valorant is meant to be played, and that is how exactly you need to make the difference here as well. But as we are going to be waiting here, one of the couple of technical difficulties here and there, ladies and gentlemen, as the players are trying to jump on down the game, want to make sure that they have the smoothest experience possible. So we're giving them the time, but in the meantime, we can jump on down over into the Zerofrag interview. A treat for you guys, as you are going to be waiting for us. Make sure to check out all the links down below in the description, as we are going to be waiting. Until then, Zerofrags, what do you guys have to say?
Hello guys, this is Hikam Sari from gossip.gg, and with me I have Batman from Zerofrags. How are you feeling, right?
I'm feeling good. Qualified. That's nice. We qualified with quite good results, so that's nice.
Okay, that's great. So without further ado, let's start with the questions. How do you divide your roles within the team?
Divide our role. It is obviously an IGL, but we don't want to put the entire pressure on him, right? So we also have a mid-round caller who can, help him with all the information that is fed to the IGL. But in between, sometimes if I feel like, okay, the site is empty, there are not many people there, I want to push here. Sometimes I take that role as well.
Okay.
So basically, we're just trying not to burden just one particular person with all the duties.
Okay.
Try to share the responsibilities and make everyone feel fun, not feel like a burden.
The next question, how did you get started playing Valorant and what drove you to the competitive scene?
Competitive scene, I'm getting very old and it's been like 3 months since I joined the scene.
Okay.
The org approached me because they saw my YouTube channel was why not try my hand at it, because I'm not gonna get any younger. I'll try my hand at it. I started playing. I started with CS long time ago. When I was 18, my friend introduced me to it. That's how I started. And then Valo came out, so I tried my hand at it.
What are your short-term and long-term goals for your team in the Valorant competitive scene?
Short-term goals, well, obviously we want to win a big tournament. That could be very nice. And long-term, we just want to get better as a team. We want to learn from our mistakes. Because obviously as a new team, we make a lot of mistakes. We have lost damn lot. It's good to, pick on that, but to learn from it and be better as a team.
Now the last question, what are your personal strengths as a player and how do you contribute to the team's success?
I can say that I'm much older than my teammates. They're quite young. Some of them are in school 70. So I have to, tell them that it's okay to lose. It's not a permanent setback. You just learn from it. And I try to keep the morale up. Okay, we lost. Doesn't matter. Learn from it. Move on. Do not, just get stuck on that loss.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I entry quite nice. That's good, maybe.
So guys, this was Batman from Zerofrags, and we wish you all the best for the next matches, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Batman really does give that scream energy. Because you know what I'm talking about. Like whenever I look at Batman, I think of Scream every single time. He's also that veteran presence on the team as well. He stated himself, he's not going to get any younger. He is the person to really calm his team down and be the person to really bring everyone together. And to do that as a duelist player, that is unheard of.
True that, and also being in his position, the way he's making sure that the team is functioning well, being in coordination with each other, being in a place where they can trust each other and rely on each other when it comes to critical situations, and instead of panic, just believe and have that patience. It's nice. I like how Batman is coordinating with the rest of the team and not stepping back when it comes to his action.
Absolutely. This is what Batman does best. And in a way, this one player really is someone humble. You can already tell the way that he was speaking as well.
Yeah.
He knew that it won't be an easy journey for his entire team. It won't be an easy journey for himself as an individual. He's willing to put in the effort. He's willing to go the distance with his team and make sure that they're all on an even foothold as they're all propelling themselves to the greatness, to be the very best in Valorant.
Absolutely. And I mean, whoever is the oldest person on the team has to take that under their wing, make
Mentorship
sure
role.
that they're being the motivator. Yes, being the person that everyone can look up to and follow through. I mean, if I was ever in a position where I was scattering around, I would definitely want to have someone that I can look up to and be like, okay, this person has made it through many more years in their life. I can definitely trust their opinion, and then just get myself back in place. I mean, doing that for the team is pretty essential, and we can see that when Zerofrag plays, they are pretty trustworthy for each other.
Doing wonders overall, but looking at the overall agent composition, a very standard composition coming in from the members of Deadlift, similar to the one that they have played out last time around on the map of Lotus. Double controller getting picked up with a single initiator of Fade. Inferno is a driving force for the team, but don't really know how this double controller setup is going to be helping them out here. Yesterday's performances left a lot to be desired for when it came down to the overall team synergy, but yes, long story short, I can't give them a chance to just really prove themselves to be better, but for now, it's tough. Because from the performances that we have seen from Zerofrags, they were far superior when it came down to their own showing on the map of Lotus.
Okay, there was a slight hover over onto Cypher. I thought Cypher was the one that's gonna show up from this side of the team, but it's gonna be Killjoy on both the sides, the Sentinel. But yeah, I mean, double controller versus double initiator. I have more inclination towards the double initiator lineup. I feel like that composition is gonna be much more efficient on a map like Lotus, which is so vast that you would want more and more information from every corner. Let's see how much double controller is going to be able to help out in that.
Just need to wait and see for all of that. The more speculation we do, the more, in a way, we are trying to hype ourselves up to the possibilities that these teams can really bring onto the table for this map. But
Yes.
then again, the map of Lotus now in this current meta has just turned a little bit stale, because you know what to expect, because this map has now been being played very similar to what Haven generally is played like. Because on Haven as well, you have a hunker down setup in towards C. You love to play aggressively towards a lobby. You want to take a lobby control as quickly as you possibly can, and with that, the setup is pretty much done. But the primary difference is that Viper, the strength of that Viper on this map allows so much more compositional diversity compared to what the map of Haven is known for. But with the setup that they do have, Zerofrags, that Fade can give you so much value if you play your cards properly with it.
I agree. Zerofrags, the way they are taking control of the area, it's just pretty swift. Kabir is going to be the one person they have to be aware of, and that's going to be a difficult position for the side of Zerofrags. Kabir got a very crucial frag out here. Batman is already lost. And now it's a 5v4. Zerofrags, I don't feel like it's the right time for them to try for site A again. And they are whiffing that information themselves as well. Moving on towards site B. The collective of Zerofrags is probably waiting for the wall. And then might just penetrate into site.
We need to wait and see how this one's going to go.
Good. 30 seconds left.
now. Long waiting game for them to play into here. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't really survive on that one. Lead's gonna be able to catch one though over on the opposite side. A 1-for-1 trade coming out from either side, taking it back down over to a 3 versus 3. But you, low on HP, can't really do much just yet. First initial bit of information, but the post-line positioning not really being in the best of both. One on the flank from the top side, they're losing out on time! Regardless of it, every single member of Zerofrag trained and ready, playing the clock down to the wire to get that victory going for themselves. Zerofrags, they take the first round in a decisive fashion, Ahana. This was a good start from them.
It definitely was. It didn't seem as easy. I mean, the way they started off, it felt like they would be able to find their grounding. But then the moment it came to the 3v3 post-plan scenario and them having no control over the site, felt like was going to be the straw that breaks this boat. But then they were still able to go ahead and find their frags. And that too at no loss at all whatsoever. I'm happy about the way it functioned out for the side of Zerofrags so far, but I don't think that's going to be a replicable round. However, this time around, they are going to be trying to look for side B entrance yet again, working out as quickly as they went in.
Yes, I'm Batman. I was going to take the initiative here in towards the seaside. This is going to be able to run in for free. This is another issue. When you know that your opponent likes to play the Neon, you need to have a Cypher ready to try and stop him from taking a lot of that aggressive space. Not having it, it's going to allow Batman to have that freedom. Just do whatever the hell he wants in almost every instance. Running around, getting a little bit of space, coming in from the back lines. They have the entire site surrounded. This is a good early position coming in from the members of Deadlift, but their weaker weapons causing them issues. Kabir causing the damage over from the opposite side with system breakdown in his arsenal. Down to the last sliver of HP to try and play into this. Already spotted here, and it's going to be Batman who goes in for the final shot. But look at the members of Deadlift. They did the job that they really needed to do. They took out 4 weapons. Batman does retrieve the Vandal at the bare minimum, but even then, this was such an expensive round. Given the choice to possibly go in for a full buy again or a full save, Zerofrags, they could take the round or they could just give it away.
I agree. It's definitely not looking very good for the side of Zerofrags. You definitely want to have at least 3 of your weapons surviving on the second round so that you can go ahead and have minimum investment towards the third one and still continue to build your economy. But then the way the rounds are going on so far, even though there's loss, I don't think the round loss is going to come into picture that quickly. This is definitely going to be a weaponry disadvantage on the side of Zerofrags. A golden opportunity for the side of Deadlift nonetheless. And considering how close they came to winning both the times, it might just turn things around for them.
Things around is one thing, but and then every situation is going to be a fruitful one. 0-2 here for the members of Zerofrags, yes, but the ultimate's coming online soon enough. Batman, 3 away from the overdrive. And that ultimate really can cause a lot of problems. Pretty much anyone on the receiving end of it. So for now, I would say that Zerofrags and their best bet is to take the members of Deadlift by storm as quickly as possible. Because as soon as Deadlift start to cycle their ultimates, that's when things are going to get a lot more slow pace. Because you can no longer be aggressive on your pushes, understanding that there's a showstopper waiting for you on the opposite end. But without a breach, if the Rolling Thunder is able to find value from Zerofrags, it's just going to get even more difficult.
Let's see how that converts anything. So far, it's definitely a pause that can actually, break the momentum of the side of Zerofrags. It's only been 2 rounds. There's not much read that can happen just yet for either of the teams. But they do want to get back into the game, specifically for the side of Deadlift. They would want to go ahead and find an equalizer for them as quickly as possible. While from the side of Zerofrags, we would see them trying to just, keep on mounting that lead. I've seen Zerofrags get into, shambles and then still make their way back up. So I wouldn't be that, that scared of their position if they lose a map. But then again, for Deadlift, I do see their morale just follow through with whatever scoreline they have.
I believe the technical pause is going to be lifted up soon enough, and the players are ready to jump back in towards the game. Do you believe that the Viper on the team Q is going to have the biggest of issues? He didn't leave out on the party, so jumping back in towards the game. It's being not looking the best here. Hopefully it stabilizes soon. That'd be a pretty tough call for members of Deadlift as well. As in this particular round, with the better weapons that they have in their arsenal, as you can tell from the scorecards too, that the members of Zerofrags, they are not opting to force buy in towards this round. They want to play for a bonus, but technically it's not even a bonus anymore. You're playing a glorified eco with a hero vandal in the hands of Because I'm Batman. You can make it work, yes, but then again, this is such a dangerous round that you're trying to give away. Because think about it, if you bought into this round, it's technically the same. You give the next round as an eco and it's 2-2.
I'll find you.
Through that. Well, going back into the game, this is third round, and we are already seeing Zerofrags go ahead and plan for a rotation. They might just not want to commit to any of the sites just yet. Their spike still lays at spawn. Collecting information is going to be the primary goal here. And Jerry's goal will be to deny as much of it as possible. Does have a nano swarm waiting right at the entry point. Do you see how deep in Batman already is in the territory?
It's just Batman for you. Up close and personal as per usual.
F-Noob is so deep in. Kabir is not going to be able to fight that. He has no suspicion either.
It's working out well, but with positioning coming in from system breakdown, needs to work his way up slowly. Positioning. Really in the best of scenarios as they're trying to work things out well. F-Noob into the corner, spots out the first player. He deals the damage, he does get traded out, but that's completely fine because on the opposite side of the map, they're able to take full control. Seaside is theirs. Slow, methodical play with the weaker weapons that they're going in for. Was the smartest call. Jerry not opting to go in for the swing, does find the plant. Not really in the most optimal of positions when you think about it. But they can play on the outskirts of the map. But because of the way that this plant spot has gone down, their postman positioning is not going to be looking that good. Questionable to say the very least. The members of Zerofrags, they made a very basic mistake, but they're allowing Batman to play in for the postman all by himself. But with the smoke now coming through, Batman, how do you try and live through this one? You need to try and go in for the spam, but even then, will it connect is the real question. He needs to clear out every single angle, but he has absolutely no choice. They could have placed it inside of the site, but instead, going in for a outskirts post plan.
The most crucial move from the side of Team Deadlift was the move of Omen. They were able to get him placed outside the site, making it a very difficult fight for Batman, because if both the players were inside the site even after having a 1v3 situation, Batman could have found them or not worried about them and only worried about the planter to buy as much time as possible. But then once Omen was situated behind the boxes, it was very difficult for Batman to pick which fight to take. And that just resulted in his demise. It was a beautifully played round for the side of Deadlift, but Zerofrags not so much. The post-plant positioning, as you mentioned, was very questionable.
It's kind of how it goes from time to time, but now that they have those stronger weapons in their hands, the fact that Batman even took out that many guns in the process And he was the only one with a weapon. This goes to show that Zerofrags, they are pretty much in the driver's seat for it all. Plan to now go through as Deadlift, scratching their heads to try and figure out what is the overall game plan for this round. Yep. Waiting with just a stinger in his hand to try and play into this, but he looked to be pretty much done and dusted with all. Summer with another good smoke to just hold off the defenders from even finding other forms of value. As the Viper's the only one that doesn't have a weapon, so he can try to go in for a fight and find a kill. It's risky. Very risky.
Toxins going up.
Well, there's still some damage that Zerofrags is gonna have to take. They've lost one player, but that's about it. Oh, don't walk out, don't walk out. They know when to be stuck. Not a complete loss for the side of Deadlift either, because Deadlift was still able to survive with 3 players on their side as well, so there is definitely some weaponry to play around with. But they do need to start stacking up rounds after rounds now. It's gonna be a hard climb soon enough. A full stack rush towards side C this time around. Let's see how that pans out.
You should run.
Not gonna be able to break the Killshare lockdown either. Ah, god, this has gone from bad to worse. Kabir, he really needed to find that proper placement for that nade, but the fact that he wasn't able to, the pain shell, I think 0 forms of value. No one influenced the site either. They're not gonna be able to find the catch. F-Noob being able to shut down one, but an instantaneous trade from either side. Need to try and hold on to this lead. Able to capitalize and stabilize as well for his team. And yet to go down, but they're gonna be able to do it safely from now on. Summer is going to be the one to get it, and Deadlift left scratching their heads to try and go back in towards this one. Is their team? They want an opening, but they're not going to be able to get that.
It's not going to be easy considering the way the positioning is on the players of Zerofrags. With one single casualty, they were able to take out the remaining 2. Summer being optimal at his aim converts that into a just 2-man loss for the side of Zerofrags. And with 4 ultimates online, they are going to have a smoother run in the next rounds as well.
Down one, but an instantaneous trade from either side. Need to try and hold on to them.
It's not going to be easy considering the way
Absolutely. The big goals that they have in their arsenal, they just used 1 ultimate to take over the entire site. Now that they have 4, what do you think is going to happen? This is 4 guaranteed rounds if they're able to utilize these ults properly. A lot of people might be saying, why am I calling the Into the Shadows from the Omen a pretty much guaranteed round win? Because of the amount of information that you can gain on the map Lotus. Plus, on Lotus, because of how big the map is, the Omen ultimate can get you a lot of free space. You're playing your cards properly over from the opposite end. They're just able to run things down. 2 ultimates utilized to get them round again.
Oh my goodness.
Members of Zerofrags, they're cycling their ultimates so beautifully. They still have the Rolling Thunder to play around with.
A little bit of damage is all that has been done to Zerofrags so far. Jerry is already caught in the middle of 3 players trying to chase him down, while Zerofrags already takes the win for themselves. Turned it into a flawless nonetheless. There's so much damage for Deadlift. They don't have the rounds, they don't have the economy. They're building up ultimates at least, but that's about it. There's nothing else in their favor. Nada.
Don't overthink it. That's my alarm bot out.
I need to figure out how to do from this point forward. It's Jerry. So they go in for a trade-off over from the opposite side to try and fight into the players that are waiting for them on the A side. The Omen stuck on an island overall, but even then, the fights being taken are favoring the members of Deadlift. Even though you'd have expected Zerofrag to be a little bit more calculated in the approach that they were trying to go in for that A side, but instead they just tried to W key their way in. And Kabir just held it down with his teammate, going in for the spray straight through the smoke. The Viper wall is a dangerous thing to fight against. If your opponents have that read, you will be the one to come out on top.
Totally agree on that. It was definitely a very quick round that fell into the hands of Deadlift, but I don't think it's a replicable one yet again. And that's where the problem is. Once you are in a loop of, losing rounds after rounds, you do need to bring surprises on the table. But how many can you bring in? There's literally 12 rounds in each half. And from here on, Deadlift needs to win at least 3 out of the remaining 5 to be in a comfortable spot of a swap.
Here. Recalling my bot.
It's a very standstill moment from the side of Zerofrags. They're not trying to invest just yet into any fights. They're taking their time, figuring things out. Oh, beautifully done. The fortification from the side of Deadlift on this particular round has been amazing. The combo of Omen and Raze towards site A worked out pretty well. Viper and Killjoy towards site C worked out pretty well. The plant is still going to go down, but the numbers are not going to be in favor of Zerofrags. Oh no, now
And
it's
then the Postman looks good though. It's a 2 for 2
Yeah, they
trade
are both
coming in from
healthy.
either side. They need to find the kill going into this. Does have the Prowler to give a little bit more space to play with. The Seas is going to cause some problems. The players in close proximity and positions. The plan not yet fully committed onto Elite. He knows the angle, but the shots are yet to connect. Inferno, Inferno, Inferno. Every chance given to this man, he always comes up with something big when it comes down to the micro. He knows how to take his duels. He knows how to take the victory. As Jerry, he loves his Tom, that's for certain. As a kitty cat,
that he does. Yep.
yeah, goes in for the victory cry for this round win. Deadlift, they take a very crucial round for their team because now their economy is stabilized enough that Zerofrags will have a hard time shaking it.
Alarm bot.
Absolutely.
Placing swarm grenade.
The way Zerofrags was going on, stacking rounds after rounds, it was difficult to see Deadlift in that situation. But now that they are inching in closer, it seems like this is going to be an even match soon enough. The 6th man has been taken out, so bye-bye turret.
Gonna need to see how things go from here on out.
Placing swarm
Opportunity found. And the shots
Again.
connecting. Yep, as all moments. This is what F-Noob does, ladies and grenades. So proficient when it comes down to his solo lurks that he is just not skipping a beat here at any turn. Summer indoors back, but the Viper still causing issues with the judge in hand. Able to find the 2 kills, equalize things out, and all of the advantages that F-Noob were able to find was just not allowed. Lionel's positioning, not really the best of spots to go in for the plant here, buddy. They now need to play from inside of the site. If they mess this up, that could be an issue, but F-Noob, he's making sure that every turn that they take is still going to be to their advantage. Leonin wants to try and take a fight, possibly find one of the players in towards the angle. Kabir able to find the answer, running in towards the back end of the corner. One more to be shot out, and Leonin, even when he is isolated in one singular position, the aim on this man cannot be faltered.
Careful here.
3-6.
Careful here.
As they do everything in their power to take this victory.
Lionel gets himself not only the 2 frags but also his ultimate online, bringing a very big win situation to the team. Nightfall is a great ultimate to use on the attacking side, specifically in a post-plan scenario if you have a man count disadvantage rolling in your team's side. You would definitely want to go ahead and utilize that information to go ahead and make sure which fight to take when. I think Lionel has secured himself a very big opportunity for the coming rounds. However, the opportunity in Kabir's hands is just more majestic and more bigger.
Doing it all each and every time.
Got one. My ultimate.
Good on the shot, F-Noob! This guy's aim is just incredible, but even then, look at the shots coming in from the opposite side! F-Noob was able to capitalize for just a little bit. Good God! The fact that the Omen was able to find two system breakdown, turning everything on its head. Down over to the last possible player, Summer, to maybe go in for a clutch here. It's going to be a difficult one at that. Showstopper in the hands of Kabir. So he's just waiting for it.
Solid communication lag for the side of
30
Zerofrags.
seconds left.
But they were waiting for F-Noob to come in. If F-Noob and the other two players had all swung in at the same time, it wouldn't have resulted in 2 frags for 1. But missing out on that literally ended up in them being stuck in a situation that just could not work out for them anymore. And well, Summer will be bid goodbye as well, leaving Deadlift with the win yet again.
Doing everything. 4 to 6 on the scorecards here already. And the cat just meowing every single time. That's one of the other reasons why I want Deadlift to stay. Jerry with his own cat.
A very good reason. I like that reason. I approve of it. A cat spray is the reason we want them to stay. Yes. So much logic. No emotion at all.
Coach is going to be the one to call out the timeout for the members of Zerofrags, so take their time for this one, just to try and figure out what exactly is causing issues for them. Because, first of all, I can already tell you one thing. Ideas, perfect. F-Noob, he takes the first shot. But what happens after F-Noob takes that first kill? They try to rush in towards B without checking if there's a second player towards the B side. Leonin had that opportunity to go in for a full clear with the Prowler. They are taking... They're not even trying to fully reset themselves before opting to go in for it. They need to take their time. Like, the victory is not going to run away from you. Your man advantage is not going to slip away in just a matter of seconds if you don't wait to figure out what your opponents are doing. Take your time. Take it slow. That is the main reason why Deadlift are able to punish you. If Deadlift are left thinking and waiting on what can happen next, you will be given a chance to prove otherwise. But Kabir, now that he has an operator in his hands, it's going to be an even more difficult scenario. If they're able to sniff out this operator, that's going to be huge. But with a hit towards the A side imminent, they should be able to take control quickly enough that system breakdown, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on to this side that well.
Well, we'll figure out soon enough. This is again a numbers advantage that's going to be the motto from the side of Zerofrags. They just want to have more and more presence in every site. With the lockdown in place, they're definitely going to get that chance to go ahead and put that plant in, and with the nightfall coming in close as well, they might be able to go ahead and capture those frags too. A very difficult situation for Open. Did not have anywhere to go. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. And with that, the numbers advantage has already rolled in the favor of Zerofrags. Doesn't seem like Deadlift has something else to do. They do have to go ahead and find those frags as quickly as possible. The total is all being dumped away.
Last player standing.
Pretty much are doing whatever the hell they want at that stage now. One good pause, and that's all that is required for the members of Zerofrags to get their mojo back. With a 4-8 scorecard now coming in soon, possibly for their team. The weaker buys in the hands of Deadlift.
Turret out.
What's their answer? This Viper with the judge is going to be an even more of a bigger issue now, but overall, think about it. Zerofrags, they are taking this victory on the attack side. Defense, it's going to be scary, to say the very least. With Deadlift on the double controller, they're not going to be as dominant as you would have hoped for. As the fade! Oh no, poor old Inferno. He just got his feelings toyed with. Batman. Just running pretty much for ages. It's hard to track. You can't even say that he potatoed that one. It's difficult to track a Neon when she's in that state.
Satchel out.
Doesn't look like a very sunny day for either side. The struggle is real, but the control on the side is gonna stay with Zerofrags for a while. They go in and claim more and more of it. The space is not gonna be given up just yet, and now with the numbers rolling across as well, does not seem like Deadlift is gonna have a very good swap. The first half is not theirs at all. It's an 8-4 swap for sure.
I'm out of here. Down. Gotta go.
Batman just had to do that.
Yes. And look at it. Look at his face. He has absolutely no emotion. At least Scream shows emotion. He's like, yes, bro! Batman's like, nah.
It's an everyday thing for him. He cannot
True,
get excited over mere frags.
We're just mortals in this land of gods.
Yeah.
It's a game of Batman and F Noob. Look at them. 13 frags on the first and 12 on the second. They're consistent in every regard. They are hitting every single one of their shots. It's Zerofrags. They are a team that they are pushing the boundaries here. Deadlift, with their older, much more systematic strategy, just doesn't really have that full of an answer to play into. Play for contact here on this side. I love this play, Leonid. This is a one. God, take it straight out of DRX's playbook. This is a DRX strat. Leonid just waiting with the C's in hand over towards mid, and as soon as the first line of contact happens, immediately throws out the C's to go in for the second kill. And Zerofrags, they're able to take a free victory here. 2 frags down. And Deadlift could say that, oh, they read us like an open book. No, this was a pre-planned setup. Doesn't matter where you went, if you pushed in towards the A side, you would have to make noise. You can't walk in A. Good lord.
Zerofrags very aware of the situation. They know they have advantage on the numbers. They're not gonna make any move anymore. They're just gonna keep waiting for Deadlift to move in whichever direction, and they're ready for it. They're absolutely ready for it. Not gonna be aggressive, not gonna be impatient. Just gonna wait for their moment to shine. Such an off angle for Batman.
Spike down B. Last player standing. Flawless.
There it is. Done and dusted.
They are in full control. They're not afraid in a single moment. Really pull off something big here. Overall, the edge is there, but even then, Zerofrags, they cannot get overly confident in the positions that they are in. Is Deadlift? Yes, they're having a little bit of a rocky start, but you can see the moments of brilliance that they are able to showcase. That's what should give them the slight edge and a turn here if they want to. F-Noob. Not ready for it just yet, but the Outlaw is still able to find a lot of value if he wants to here. Beautiful for the shot. He was ready for it. Absolute no fear. Moves his eyes in towards the back, though. They still have too many angles that they need to fight into. And it's going to be Q who just goes in for the slice and dice at the very end, Assassin's Creed style. Lead spots out the last player. And now, the kill yet to be found, and he will be able to get it. Beautifully done at that. Zerofrags, they take the round, and they are able to send a message. But I think that Q, he sent a bigger message.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Q did find himself some amazing frags here. Very flashy nonetheless. But yes, Zerofrags had 2 players who got caught completely in a terrible, unlucky, unfortunate situation of where they were in requirement of reload on their guns. But still, they were able to survive with all the remaining 3 and win the round yet again. Double digits on the boards for Zerofrags already. And we are yet to enter a proper round of the second half. This is the proper round of second half, and they already have double digits on their charts. Zerofrags is not fearing, they're not backing down. They got this under control, and look at that. The numbers advantage is already in their favor yet again. And the spike is in their control. Do I have to say more?
Not in this case. F-Noob.
Look at F-Noob, yeah.
Again and again, it's this guy's name that are coming onto our lips.
I think.
Sister breakdown! No! Oh, goodbye. Never mind! Maybe? Never mind. It's F-Noob. Jerry, last one already spotted, and they're just gonna spam him down. 4-11, Zerofrags. The map of Lotus is just theirs. If you're gonna go up against this team, you need to ban out Lotus immediately and take your chances with Abyss instead.
Omen tried. He just could not wait long enough, did not have enough patience, and also did not have enough players on the team to be able to go ahead and spend as much time there. Did get caught by F-Noob eventually. The timing there.
I need to blow something up.
Zerofrags has been fortunate. Give me a scoreline prediction. I think who's winning is already evident.
Evident, yes, but at the same time, you can't really say otherwise just yet. He's running around! Hello! Right behind you, my boy! Somewhere you heard the footsteps. The Viper made a run for it. He still didn't try to take that fight. Batman's gonna be able to shut him down instead. Much more ready for the duel. You, old guy's not gonna be able to do much. Batman just slides into the DMs of another. Inferno. None the wiser for it. Jerry looking for the shot, but his sheriff just does not connect. And F-Noob comes in for the final shutdown. 4-12. Zerofrags, they're knocking at death's door.
We thought
They're the
this
ones.
was going to be a very close one.
True. We all did, but this map just... I expected Kabir to go in for a neon play, but to go for a raise on this particular map, it just doesn't work anymore. It's no longer the same meta.
Exactly. But he has stuck up with his raise. I remember, I think yesterday also they did play Lotus and it was the same pick. Went with raise and we complained about it.
I know how it goes. Summer. Able to break out the double door just to give a little bit more of a forward position, but with the fast rush coming in towards the C side, the members of Deadlift, they're hoping that this entry is going to give them the edge that they need. Z's giving them a little bit of time for the defenders to run back in towards the side just yet. Yonen yet to be spotted. The Omen going to be able to find the double. Kabir with one more for his own troubles. Yonen comes in strong. He has the first kill, but his position not really in the best of spots. If he misses the bullet, it's going to be hurting him quite a bit. Doesn't really find the opening that he needs, and system breakdown does open the double with Summer being shut down as the last. We still have a little bit of life left in the Mahana. Not much.
True that. Well, even a single spark is good enough if you can take it long. I don't think that Deadlift is gonna be in a lot of trouble if they can keep getting themselves through one round at a time and not look at the overall scoreboard, because that is scary for real. And I mean, I've seen Deadlift push for overtimes in unimaginable situations. This could be one of them, but I don't see them winning this map nonetheless. And good that you redacted the scoreline prediction.
I mean, I'm not gonna do the scoreline prediction, especially when it's here.
Yeah.
One person can take the victory, but we will never know how they will be able to find it. A little bit of sound here, Jerry. It's gonna be wise for this. Goes in for the first shot. The paranoia is gonna give them the edge, but Summer instead, he's not able to find the kill, and Jerry's gonna be able to find the secondary. The shots are perfect. They're able to get the read here. F-Noob needs to try to run on away. The operator in his hands. He can no longer risk it. Going in through middle as well. No one's going to be there to try and get this kill on towards him. Jerry on the angle, but F-Noob ready for the fight. Go for the full-on save here, Zerofrags. They don't even need to risk anything here. Understanding that they are the ones to take the possible victory, they need to reset and just plan a little bit in this round in particular. And if the plan goes well, this next round could just be the last for Deadlift.
Look at the paranoia on the players of Deadlift though. They ended up committing an ultimate in a round which they did not even have to challenge players in. Not going to be that big of a loss though, because Viper's Pit used to be a very, very powerful ultimate at one point of time, but right now not as much. It's still a good ultimate, but not as much anymore. Not a round-winning factor anymore.
Absolutely. For now though. In a little bit more of a precarious situation when you think about it now. The change up in overall strategy. You can tell that Deadlift, they want to kill for the opening. Knowing that possible playstyle Zerofrags, they are being as defensive as they possibly can. No real pushes anymore, no overconfident plays. Allow the operator to do the magic for you instead. Timing is key for it all, and F-Noob, the overall setup is what I love the most coming out from him. Look at the alarm bot positioning. Because the alarm bot is placed so far up close, none of the members of the defense are even going to try to go in for a rotation. They will hold down the lines. Now that the alarm bot has been triggered, the first shot with the operator has been taken as well. The information has been gained that the operator is on the C side, meaning everyone from the attack will now try to go for a possible hit towards A.
The retaliation from the side of Zerofrags is not going to work out as beautifully as they would expect it to be, and with that little time on the board,
10 seconds left.
it's going to be a plan being called in. Numbers disadvantage rolls towards the favor of Zerofrags. They're not going to be able to convert this very well. It's a 2v4.
One enemy remaining.
Call it a 1v4. The operator has been taken away. But they do have enough economy to go ahead and get one more. Not the point though. What they
Timing.
need is one more round. Surprise.
Spotted already, and Summer's just gonna need to try to run this one away. No one's fighting into him either. The members of Deadlift finally have found their mojo going in towards this game, but I think body's a little bit too much here if they're not careful. The fight as now Summer just needs to try and hold. Lives to tell the tale for another day, and he's gonna be able to buy a weapon for his teammates as well if he needs to. Slowly but surely, they're trying to make this comeback happen, but it's still going to be a long and perilous journey for the members of Deadlift. Closing out the map of Lotus is honestly very difficult. Very few teams can do it decisively. Even then, when you have such a significant advantage and a lead going into it, one small change in your setup is all that will be required.
This time around, again, being able to collect information in the early stages is going to be a crucial thing for the side of members of Team Deadlift. They do have a good win condition on themselves, which is the lockdown and the showstopper. They can, one round at a time, definitely inch closer and closer to Zerofrags. Probably even push it to an overtime, but Zerofrags definitely would want to go ahead and close this deal as quickly as possible, not really get themselves in an uncomfortable situation. F-Noob being picked out, that's an important, crucial kill for the side of Deadlift.
surprised that they're trying to fight into this much. Leonan could have played that one smartly. It could have been different. Come here! Come here! He needed one bullet. He needed one bullet to go in for that kill, but instead made a meal out of that one. Yes, the sun was there, but even then, shot was to connect. They're in a tough position to say the very least. Akiyu
Could be anybody's round.
on a different position. The smoke is gonna cause an issue. It's already done. What was the post-plant positioning here? Deadlift. What are you doing? Why do you need to plant there?
Even when you do, you need to watch out for it. They were so busy fighting with players, they just did not realize one of them could just be going for that ninja defuse. It wasn't the end Deadlift was expecting.
They really needed to fight from inside the site. I don't like that post-plant positioning whatsoever because of the different angles a player can just stand in. That's why now the general plant position, is towards the staircase. You plant near the staircase, you can go in for spam. Players from even waterfall can go in for spam as well. You can easily kill the player that is trying to hold on to the spike, but instead going in for that open plant, the much more generic plant setup that we have seen on the map of Lotus since the very beginning of Lotus, mind you. It doesn't work anymore. A very questionable round coming in from the members of Deadlift really costed them everything there. The possibility of a comeback was present, but it just slipped away from their fingers.
Yep. It could have been. I mean, I had started to see that, silver lining for Deadlift. I had started to see them coming back closer and closer. I thought it was going to be pushed at least to an overtime with the way they were going on executing rounds after rounds. One mistake, one unfortunate move, one placement change in the plant just resulted in their demise. They did not even I don't think they realized how the round ended until they saw defenders win written on their screens.
Jumping it down over into the crucial moments, ladies and gentlemen, to just relive everything that unfolded in front of your screens, because Zerofrags just had a performance, but it was all F-Noob, I have to say. F-Noob, every time you looked at this guy, he was someone to take that first blood. It wasn't Batman who got the first blood, it was F-Noob. Being on that lyric, being able to find all of the advantages, and then Batman came in, utilizing all of the chaos being created by F-Noob on the opposite side of the map to his biggest advantage. Every turn, all of these crucial moments will be F-Noob coming again and again and again. While from his members of Deadlift, they were making a lot of very rookie mistakes. It was hurting them the most.
I liked the play coming in from the side of Q a lot. Those frags were definitely a highlight. But then other than that, I did not see a lot coming in from the side of Deadlift, not in the early half at least. Well, as we expected, F-Noob and Q, they're the people shining the brightest in their own respective teams. 19 frags for F-Noob, with 18 being followed right behind by Batman. The whole team from the side of Zerofrags is so good at fragging out, they need to change their name now.
It's tough, because Deadlift still have a chance of turning things around for the second map, but it'll be very difficult. It will be the map of Sunset, so in a way, they will be in a lot more of a comfortable position. Comfort is one thing, because if you're not able to play the Neon properly, I'm pretty sure that Kabir is going to be going in for the race on that map again. If Batman is able to show him up on that Neon, it will be extremely difficult. A lot of players have just shifted away from the race completely on that map because it's no longer as necessary anymore. You can have a Sova on your team to try and break out on the tripwires, and after that, the Neon can just run amok on the server.
Completely agree, and on that part. We might see a much more colorful fight from the side of Kabir as well, but I'm not sure of how the overall game is gonna go. F Noob being the man of most value in this particular map, as expected, 35-31 being his damage and 20% for headshot percentage.
5 first skills is what I'm really interested in. This guy almost guaranteed a kill every single round. That's saying something. Being on that sentinel, on the attack side, the fact that he was able to find that first kill, the openings that his team really needed the most to go in for the lurk plays and the slow methodical playstyle that they were trying to play for. It's smart, to say the very least. F-Noob, he deserves this MVP, and going into map number 2, I do believe on Sunset, he needs to have the exact same performance, because on Sunset, the Sentinels just play an even more stronger and better role. But for now, we're going to be jumping over onto a very short little break as we set everything up for the map of Sunset. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short word from our sponsors.
When are you going to upgrade your system?
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.
As promised, ladies and gentlemen, we are already back with the second game for this best of 3 for the TEC Showdown Series Season 5 Valorant, powered by Crucial by Micron. Their GPU partners Zotac Gaming and our media partners Gossip.gg. And in a way, I am a little bit sad to say that the members of Deadlift, after the performances that we witnessed yesterday from them, did not really live up to that potential for the first map. I'm just going to say for the first map, because I do believe on the second game, on their own home turf of the map of Sunset, they should be the ones to take it. But how well have they adapted their strategies to go up against the Neon? It seems as though this Neon composition is their biggest kryptonite. They don't really have much of an answer for it, but if they do not, and the Batman goes in for the exact same comp once more, they're in for a world.
I believe you. I believe you on that. I mean, the way Batman plays Neon, first of all, itself is very scary. And second of all, the way F-Noob supports his moves is again something that's very strong for the side of Zerofrags. Not only that, I mean, the rest of the team is also going ahead and delivering their own part of it. But then this combination of these two players is just completely unimaginably unbreakable. And yes, Kabir has gone for the race yet again.
Batman has gone in for the Neon. It's like the old meta versus the new meta, which is kind of where the issue lies. A lot of players have started to agree that Neon just blows every other duelist out of the water just because of the speed at which he can just take over space.
Agree, completely agree. But yeah, this Cypher Neon combination is definitely gonna be pretty scary. On the other hand, you do see Summer being himself all the time. I do believe that Summer and System Breakdown are definitely on a very equal turf. They do both deliver very similar performance for both of their teams. But then again, the way Batman and F-Noob play together, it's just unimaginable. They'll not even be like, walking in together. They'll be walking in on completely opposite sides of the site and still go ahead and secure themselves the frags. It's a long distance support.
True. They're always in position to find trades, which is another big thing. F-Noob in particular. Normally when he goes in for these form of lurks, the fact that he's able to guarantee a kill is very difficult. Normally Sentinel players are not always able to guarantee that one final opening when they're by themselves without any form of utility. But F-Noob, he does it time and time again. Hopefully he's going to be able to do the same on the map of Sunset, but then again, now that his shenanigans have been found out and the members of Deadlift are wary of these lurks, if they're able to shut F-Noob down early enough, I do believe that his team will struggle quite a bit trying to find a proper foothold on this map.
Might be the case, but we'll soon find out what it's gonna unfold like once we're inside the game, which is right here in front of you guys. Sunset it is. Is this really gonna set everything in stone for these teams? Is it gonna be a 2-0? Is the question.
It's gonna need to wait and see how this is gonna be going. Now though, slow and much more systematic approach is what the team is really going to be banking upon. There's a little bit of a technical pause being taken here for the teams to really settle themselves in towards the server. Timing is key for all of it. They do play their cards properly. The team should easily be the ones to take it all away. Kind of interested to see how Kabir is going to be playing for the long game too, because in a way it all really does depend on you being able to take proper auto control. And poor old Kyu also having issues here. His own technical difficulties holding him back. 95 ping is going to be a tough one to play with. But you need to adapt and learn, because as much time as you take, your ISPs still hate you regardless.
Absolutely. You gotta keep up with the time instead of race against it. And the later you wait, the longer you wait, you are gonna be put in a race against it if you're not keeping up. That's for sure. I do want to see Deadlift go ahead and find themselves some early advantages that they can capitalize on eventually. But yeah, I'm excited to see how Kabir is going to fight this off. Just as you mentioned, it's the old meta versus the new. I do see a lot of potential in Kabir as race, but it's just that being able to find those openings is more difficult than being able to create those openings by yourself. That's where the difference comes between the race and the neon. Neon can just go ahead and create those openings for herself, while race still has to find them and wait for the right time to come.
Just gonna need to try and figure everything out here. The two dualities of the duelists that they have in their arsenal. So in a way, I would really prefer these setups to be looking different. Even then, give it some time to really plan everything out. We're going to be jumping into the game once more soon enough, ladies and gentlemen. Overall, setup-wise, everyone's just sitting inside of the middle zone. No one's really going anywhere just yet. A little bit of a Cypher camp to just watch everything through. One of my favorite Cypher camp, mind you, on the map of Sunset. Because it just gives you so much information to play contact upon compared to any of the other things that you can do. As we take a little bit of a scenic route on the land Sunset, which is in Florida, mind you. See how this goes.
Absolutely. Some time for me to shop so that I don't have to wear a baggy jean jacket tomorrow. The moment I say that, our producer moves away from the shopping area. All right, I see it. I'm getting the signs. I like how you have picked up on the tidbits thing. Going
It's
ahead
not a
and
tidbit
mentioning
thing. It's not a tidbit thing.
which
This map was... hey, this map came out when VCT was still happening in America, so...
right. Gotcha. You're just proving you're still gonna be my audience when I start that on YouTube.
For sure. I cannot deny that.
So far, America is the only country from where there's more than one agent.
We're
That's a tidbit
surprised.
thing.
Still waiting for the more agents to come out. I wonder where the next agent's going to be coming out to. Already having a map, so... yeah, I'm gonna get a new map first, though, as Vice did come out. Still haven't seen any Vice on any map, mind you.
Yes,
Like,
I've been waiting
question
for that.
what's gonna
because-
happen next.
Yeah, I mean, I find Vice to be a very broken, strong agent. She could be so useful on so many maps, but I'm not seeing anyone experiment with her, at least not on the Indian servers.
It will soon, eventually. Because I do believe
I
that the
really
teams
wanna-
are still trying to figure out what you can really do with her. But then again, she's not an easy character to play. A lot of the buttons
That's true.
that you have to press with Vice is a little bit weird. Like, when I was playing Vice for the first time, I kept on trying to press F to activate her flash, and then I remembered, no, it's not F, it's an E. I pull back my flash, and the enemy just peeks out and kills me.
Oh, goodness. Well, Lionel does have a very good positioning in this particular round. Might just be able to go ahead and get some frags for himself early on. Falls back a little, won't be able to stay in the fight for long. Still gets a frag. If not for the flash, could have contested one more. F noob yet again in a prime location. Deadlift. Players from Deadlift have very little HP on them. Plus they are being tagged. So there's not a lot remaining for them to play for. 3 against 3, but look at the 3 on Deadlift with so little HP. And it's a bye-bye.
One enemy remaining.
Ouch! Goodbye. Last one to be spotted, it's gonna be Kabir. His position pretty much known and dusted. Wanted to go in for the spam, but the sound's gonna give him away. Immediately just broken down piece by piece here. Zerofrags. They take the first round in a decisive fashion, but even then, yeah, at least the attackers were able to get the plan down. With that, they have a little bit of extra cash to play into this. A slow start for the map of Sunset is not really unheard of, but after this round, they really get a proper game plan going.
Doesn't seem like it's gonna be an easy run for either of the teams though. Have they opted for the force buy is the question. I wanna find out. Doesn't seem like it. With the positions being revealed, it has brought down both the teams to a similar number of players alive on either side.
Oh. They're immediately gonna try to make a run for it, but look at F noob.
Down B.
The trigger discipline was good, but the camera on the top is another issue. You got pinged by the camera. So the Rays just turned around at the very last second, Summer with the perfect off angle and a stun to come in clutch. He's just gonna spray everyone down at the very end. Elite, he's gonna be able to get a little bit of a weapon upgrade for his troubles with the Bulldog in hand. Zerofrags, they lost out on 2 players, but they were able to deny the spike plan at the end of the day. Look at the camera, look at the camera! It all happened because of the camera. Kabir, he was ready for it. He just saw him on the minimap. That was an unfortunate timing.
True that. Still turned out to be a win for Zerofrags, so not like they're gonna complain about it. Comes around with a full buy from the side of Deadlift. Let's see how far this can take them. The weaponry definitely is much better. But is it gonna give them a better result overall? So far it doesn't seem like that. With the Cypher gone, the information game is gonna be slightly more dependent on the active usage of utility. There is not gonna be any passive information that can be relied upon for the side of Deadlift. And that's slightly difficult to deal with, specifically being in their shoes right now in a very tough situation. System breakdown is covered. Yeah, did not have a lot to live for.
On the cross, it's gonna be Summer who was able to catch out Kabir even though he was fully stunned. This has to then the overall confidence whenever Inferno. He comes in massive here. Massive players to be spotted over towards the opposite side. Inferno with the swing. He needs to go in for the bullet. Stun. Perfect. Finds the opening here. Going in for a big kill. Jerry over towards the back end. The run's gonna give him a chance to go in for the opposite side. Timing is everything. He's not gonna be able to hit the shot. The headshot does not connect for Batman. And it's gonna be Jerry who gets it instead. 2-1. But a very close round indeed. Coming in with the weaker weapons.
Exactly, not only close but also very costly for the side of Deadlift. They could not hold on to most of their weapons. They have just one that's going to be carried forward into the next round. They cannot build an economy like this. Neither can they invest in a lot of utilities this time around because they're going to have to invest in their weapons, and that's just how much credit you get altogether. So it's going to be a trade-off. It's not going to be an easy round.
This is what's gonna happen in certain scenarios as well. If you're not careful. Yes, I'm Batman. Waiting for his opportunity on that A side. He's expecting the Cypher to be up close and personal here, but with Daphne being the first line of contact, he wants to go in for the kill. This is a difficult scenario. Batman! He has to live, and the bullet's just straight away from his head at the very last second. System breakdown, big kill over towards the first. He's able to catch the player mid. These are the opening kills that the members of Deadlift are really hoping for. The map that they have put in the hours for, the map that they have trained themselves to try and go big on. Able to find multiple frags here, bring things back into contention just to the slightest of degrees, but Leonin not able to hold for long. Now it's all up to the last two players to try and go in for something bigger.
Fno trying to collect information in the same time. Summer backing him up completely. The numbers have been equalized, but the time is not in the favor of Zerofrags.
One enemy remaining.
Both of them got their frags at the same exact time. And there comes the equalizer for the side of DLE.
2-2 on the scorecards here. The equalization is going to give both teams a little bit of time to just get back into the solid groove of things. So for now, we're looking for the early hit here. You taking the damage over from the opposite side. Batman's going to be able to shut down 2. Now it's a full-on reset. Don't really do anything. You no longer need to push. They lost the man advantage in Elite. He's down to only 5 HP. Do not understand why they wanted to go in for swings like that. Batman got the second kill, and that instantly means you need to stop your push.
True that, and in a round which is so heavily invested from both the sides, there's gonna be yet another win factor for the side of DLE, which is gonna be the Hunter's Fury. If worse comes to worse, they can still go ahead and survive. This is definitely not a round that Zerofrags should even hope to get.
Cage triggered.
They're able to make things work though. These fast swings are just working wonders for them. Wait a moment. Zerofrags are able to turn this one on its head on a full-on eco. The defenders on an eco with just sheriffs and outlaws in their hands are just able to turn it all around.
I don't believe it.
Good God, man.
I took a servo from your arms for my tripwire. Don't be angry. Wait.
It's just incredible from this team.
The dialogue on Cypher. It's just as obliviously filled with attitude as Cypher himself is.
Cypher's attitude is always to be that know-it-all. And it's just snooping around in every turn. For now, a little bit of a late stun, I would say. Inferno's not going to dying out to that one. But at least they broke out the tripwire. It's going to allow them to be a little bit more aggressive if they want to make that option and choice. But up against Deadlift, they're just going to wait for this push. You can tell. Slower approach is what this team really thrives upon.
Right here.
With the composition that they do have, they're going to be able to pull it off. Bringing out all the close quarters positions, 50 seconds left on the clock. They need to start choosing a site that they want to entry onto. Jerry, stun's pretty much ready and waiting for that first initial push because I'm Batman with the swing. He wanted to take the fight, but Kabir, regardless of it, able to capitalize. Ultimate in hand, he can just go in for the play and he's gonna be able to find it. Another big kill over from it's Elite, still holding down pretty much all the sidelines that he needs to. Has his buddy in towards the back to waste time.
They're not coming here. It was a great attempt at trying to bring the round back from the side of Elite, but yes, Jerry just got the same exact medicine served back to the Zerofrags. It's a 1v2, not really necessary to go ahead and take the fight, but I think still for exit frag's sake, Zerofrags is gonna deploy Omen on the edge. Oh, he's trying to actually attempt at the fight.
Yeah, he's not gonna try to go in for anything else here. Good opportunity, but Summers just gets stunned out almost instantaneously. He's not going to be able to turn anything back from there. 3-3 on the scorecards here.
Yep, and Deadlift is stacked up with ultimate economy. They have 4 ultimates online right now, which is no less. It's going to be good enough for them to squeeze a couple more rounds, and if that happens, Zerofrags will be the one who chase the scoreline now.
Is where things gonna be going from here. A little bit of an early flash here. It's gonna move the runners way back. F-Noob. Still a force to be reckoned with. Instantly tries to run away in towards the back end position. Hunter's Fury trying to possibly find a catch over onto any one of the players here. With the damage being dealt over towards Breach. Still going to be an issue. F-Nude, regardless of the damage that he takes, is still able to find the hit here. One already spotted on the angle, being able to find the kill. Elite, still dangerous as ever, but with his teammates still alive and kicking, they can come in from the back and try to go in for the duel. Double-sided approach. They should be able to take the first bit of information before they go in for the hit.
This is looking good for both the teams.
Standing.
But Inferno with his aim is just gonna be able to squeeze in more.
What's another death?
Oh no, the
that's
amount of shots Summer had to miss.
Yeah, if they were able to find that hit, that would have been a different thing, but that on a pretty hefty situation to try and turn back from. It's a 3-4 already. Zerofrags, they lost the lead that they were trying to build up. They need to try to figure stuff out.
Right there. I will be their nightmare.
With Deadlift already in the lead, they must have a strong morale boost which can lead to them going ahead and finding more rounds. And if they do, Zerofrags will have to rethink on how they want to go forward in this. But they do have the middle room, so not going to be that scared.
We'll need to wait and see how this goes. System breakdown. It's gonna be the first line of information here. To gain it, a little bit of utility has been baited out from the defenders to make this overall push a bit easier for them. Even then, not yet fully taken over. Skew. It's up slow. Information gained by F-Noob as he can try to play for it now. Cage ready, doesn't have to use it just yet. Information found of F-Noob's exact location and he needs to give this one up soon. Yonen, risky, but he takes the swing. He's gonna be able to find a kill as well from it. But the trades are just better coming in from the defenders. 3 versus 3 already across the different portions of the map. Summer's gonna be able to find a secondary and they need to hold now. Inferno down to only 16 HP. If he makes this flank work, this will be gorgeous from him. They're gonna be able to run in towards the side. Inferno's timing no longer working out in his favor. Jerry on the corner, flash in hands, gonna be able to utilize it. One towards the back. Timing is everything. Summer knows the position, goes in for the swing and a little bit of swing. He's going for the classic to go in for the finish as well. As Jerry now last line of defense remaining to try and go in for the save. Jerry has the timing for it all and a shorty to make it happen. Swings in and gets the clutch. 3-5, ladies and gentlemen, as Deadlift. This is the team that we were missing. The map of Sunset truly is the place where they are the kings.
Such a dicey round nonetheless, such a dicey round. It just did not seem like one of the teams had an upper hand altogether. But the post-plan scenario, the fact that that much time had to be taken away before the kills could be found for the side of Zerofrags just put them in a position that just could not result in a win. Jerry just beautifully closing everything down. Deadlift in a lead which is comfortable enough for a map like Sunset being on the attacking side.
That man's doing everything though, never mind. What is up with this team and their ecos? Are they thrifty gods or something? It's when these thrifties roll around that this team just looks to be unstoppable.
That's true. The way Zerofrags plays is zero economy leads to bigger victory.
I need this.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh. Too late for the cam.
Not really the time that they would have hoped for. So for now, gonna try to go in for the hit here already. Faster they approach, they're able to get as close as possible here. Kabir, absolutely fearless to go in for the double kill as well. This is Kabir in his element. Given the rays on the map of Sunset, this is where he makes the plays happen. Even after all the problems, they're still able to make things work. Batman does find a kill with the operator, but just will not be enough to go in for a full-on hit here. They're opting for the save, which is a lot more of the smarter approach. Zerofrags. They're getting the answers in check here.
Keeping the scoreline up and tight for the side of Deadlift. Definitely got themselves in a good enough position. Team Zerofrags still looking to find at least an equalizer for a 6-6 swap. The way Batman plays though, with all those up close and personal fights, I don't know if operator should be the weapon of choice. I rather like the operator on F-Noob much more, with the sneaky plays.
You never know in situations like this, right? You can tell that F-Noob might be stronger with the operator, yes, but at the same time, when you have a player like Batman on that operator as well, he can just bring so much value just by him existing on that operator on an angle.
I'd agree.
F-Noob on the other side just has that option to just rotate around, roam a little bit, play a little bit more aggressively. But generally, as a Neon player, what's your main job? You want to rotate as much as possible, correct? And when you have that operator, if you give away your position on the B side, then you can instantly make a rotation back and run away over towards the A side and try to take a much more of a better position in comparison to what F-Noob could do. That's kind of the answer, right? You take that back and forth of the Neon just being able to rotate faster than anyone else and put her on an operator, and she'll always be that element of surprise in every portion.
Yes, this should do. I need this. My thanks.
I see what you're saying. But yeah, I think when it comes down to the last few fights, I would want Batman to be in a position where he can swap his weapons and actually go ahead and take those attempts at least. Because with an operator, obviously, he's not going to go in for those up-close personal fights.
Cage triggered.
I need to see how this is going to work now for them. Because I'm Batman. Vincent needs to try and run away and get into a little bit of more of a better spot. Thankfully, Neon's present on this angle. They know for a fact no one else can run away from this angle that quickly. He has the chance to make the rotation over towards the opposite side and maybe set up his operator towards A, but timing is key. Summer can no longer rest. He just needs to immediately dip out immediately. The teleport not working in the way that you would have expected. Doesn't have the smoke to play with either. Could go in for a top-sided position, but for now, Q, I don't think he's wise for this one. Angle spotted, and they're playing for a full-scale retake. Leonin, beautiful for the kill, needs to try and survive to live here. But the ultimate, to get that kill to equalize things out, works out wonders for them. But look at Elite, he's already in towards the side, but the smoke comes in clutch. Wait a minute, this is a smoke from the enemy, and it works in their favor. This could have gone horribly. Inferno and Jerry able to capitalize a little bit here for the positions that they have trying to find. But Batman, zero dead on towards Jerry. 2 versus 2 with the position on the shot to connect here. The slide does not go through the way that you would have wanted.
He still pulls it off.
From backwards.
He's gonna stick to the defuse, and he's also gonna get the support from Summer for that frag. 5-6 as the scoreline stands with 4 ultimates online for the side of Zerofrags. I think it might very well be a 6-6 equalized first half, which is not a very good position for the side of Deadlift. They needed to have at least some advantage going into the second half on a map of their home turf.
My thanks.
It's going to be very difficult for them to find an answer. 5-6 on the scorecards here already. Zerofrags. They're getting these rounds out, but it's very laborious. So you can tell that
Right here.
out of everyone, answers from Zerofrags are a little bit too slow. Able to get the first couple of kills, but being answered back simultaneously. So for now, Batman go in for the hit here. He's able to find the first shot, but after that, how else do they want to turn this? System breakdown. He's looking for the opening, and Jerry, he's going to be the one to find it instead. Smoke doesn't cover Elite up as much as they would have hoped for. And any man advantage that they could have gotten instantly just vanishes. And that's your Rolling Thunder gone as well. Having the Rolling Thunder could have been ginormous for you. Batman's going to be able to find the opening over towards Geo, which is another big thing, but instantly gets traded out on the opposite side of the map. This keeps on happening over and over again. No matter what. Any advantage that they could have gained just vanishes in a matter of seconds. One kill over towards the Leonin, just gets the turnaround. Sneaky as a dagger in the night. The smoke and mirrors playstyle coming in from Leonin, working wonders for him. Now it's all up to Jerry with 30 seconds left on the clock. He has no business getting this win.
Well, as we discussed before, it is going to stand a 6-6 score line walking in towards the second half. Not as disheartening, but still not as good either for DLE to hope that they could actually go ahead and squeeze the map in an easy peasy manner. This is going to be pretty difficult to walk through with. And with the way Batman is playing, with the way Elite is able to cover up for whenever Batman is failing, it's just miraculous from the side of Zerofrags. However, there's definitely a lot coming in from the side of Jerry as well. Cannot deny that. Yes, we already mentioned you, Jerry. We did. We noticed your cat. And System Breakdown, yes. These two are on fire from the side of DLE.
We're trying, going for a bit of a situation now. Come before the storm coming in from either side. The 6-6 scoreline is going to give them a tiny bit to play with. More real information, close for the angle side, and it's going to be Batman who's able to capitalize here. In towards the sidelines, Batman able to capitalize on towards the second as well. Shots connecting beautifully, and the smoke placement as well coming in from Summer was even better. They're able to find proper positions going in for this fight, but the shots are yet to connect coming in from Jerry. They're not able to do much here. One by one, the members of Zerofrag. Just the ones to come out on top. Kabir, last one to be spotted. 4 bullets onto his mag. No one's really fighting into him anymore. You understand how risky it's gonna be. Switches out the weapon. It's a full clip to play with, but the 2 members very low. No one's even gonna swing into him. Zerofrags, they take the round. A good early start for the second half.
They did have a good start in the first half as well. It better be that they follow through onto that start, because this time around, for the first time, I'm seeing Deadlift being the ones who are taking their time to read and then barging in with their own answers to it. Better weaponry all across the board. Definitely something that's very useful on a map like Sunset. Probably gonna result in yet another win for the side of Zerofrags. Completely on the basis of the weaponry.
I didn't need to try to make this one work. Kabir. Dangerous. Even then. It's a slight opportunity. Jumps across from the opposite side. Batman takes a bit of chip damage. As the answer over towards the first, Leonin. None the wiser for it. It's Batman. Swings across. He's able to take the side entry. The sun was perfect. Good for the first initial kill. Q takes a backseat. So does Jerry. No longer in the server to try and show their might. It's all up to Inferno. And system breakdown to try and go big or go home here. Also going home here because he doesn't really have the weapon to play much into this. Full save is one thing, but trying to take a couple of players with you into the grave? I don't really think that's gonna happen with a classic. Never mind, system breakdown proving me otherwise.
One more hit and he can actually turn this into a win for himself. Nah. On a round played like this, I do expect at least 2 players being picked off. But when you pick the third, that's when I can call it a win for the side that's losing the round nonetheless. But this one was just short-lived. System Breakdown was the only one who could take a couple frags, and there was just a couple. Not enough to call it a win.
Not really much that you can do to try and come back on this one, can you? Zerofrags here. Now with the 2 rounds and a little bit of a strong start in their overall economy. Now options to play in here. First hit, you. Takes a good chunk of damage. He's not going to be able to give much back in the process. The ultimate coming online as well for the Neon, as they can now do whatever they want. The fact that Batman has the overdrive allows him to be aggressive towards mid as well. The overdrive was one of the strongest tools to take over the mid side. Because one slide and a proper stun coming in from your breach and a flash, no one can stop it. And if he gets that first kill with the overdrive, it's more of a difficult thing to try and break forward for.
The position on F-Loop was also very prime. He is going to be able to come in for that support.
That was shaky.
Does that very well. It's a 5v2 now in a post-plant scenario. Not the best position for the side of Deadlift Esports.
Do have a little bit of an opening, but Kabir just can't really risk it. He needs to immediately run on away, save his overall economy, to try and build up something stronger with his team. So right now, though, members of Zerofrags, they're looking for the answer. What could happen next after this round? Because if Kabir lives, this could be an issue. Batman still dealing all of the damage that he wants to. Kabir is just constantly ready. 3 players still alive for the members of Zerofrags, and that's completely fine because that's what they wanted. This was a full-on bonus coming out from them as well, so the members of Deadlift, their economy is now in shambles.
That it is, and that's going to give yet another opportunity for Zerofrags to go ahead and acquire one more round for themselves. Not only that, get themselves onto a placement of double digits. However, the race on the judge is going to be slightly scary to fight off in a map like this. More scary than Jerry on his battle.
Kabir is just caught on an island. The poor guy's not going to be able to run away anytime soon either. Inferno trying to equalize the odds here, but look at the confidence that each and every player has. They're not peeking into anything, and Batman goes in for the swing in towards the side. A little bit of a mishap when it came down to the overall timing of the flashes. Inferno's going to be able to shut down the second. Double-sided push working well for them as they are playing it very risky. Inferno went in a little bit too deep, a bit too far here. This is gonna be an issue for them. A system breakdown gets another catch over onto a big player. F Noob in the back lines. This goes in for the big kill on his own accord as well. The plan's still in the hands of Leon, and he still has all the HP in the entire world to play into this. So he needs to take things slow, take it steady, understand his opponent's timing, and then opt to go in for the proper play. But with system breakdown still having a paranoia in his hands,
30 seconds left.
this post plan for Leonin will not be simple. He needs to try and fight his opposers. Otherwise, this could just go from bad to worse.
True that. It's very important
Needs to
for
guarantee
them
a kill here.
players to swing together. Well, not very fortunate, but still gonna give a boost. Actually, never mind. I don't think we need to discuss any boost for ZFR. They have all the economy in the world.
Gonna be able to do it though. And 97. The rest of Deadlift finally get the answer that they were hoping for. This was a bit too, how do I put it? Overcommitted from the members of Zerofrag, I would have to say. The flash timing was a little bit off as well. Elite, they really communicate well with Batman as they were trying to go in for that hit. Those moments of confusion is where the team really just is brought back down to earth.
Even in a map when we're not seeing Batman being the only one who shines, he has 20 frags for himself already.
True.
Q?
Q? Wait. Why did Q peek with just a classic in his hand?
I know
No
exactly.
idea. I think he went to place a camera. I would hope that's why he went. Oh goodness.
Oh no,
This is
not
not
like
looking
this.
good at all.
They're making a lot of very basic mistakes, and it's hurting them the most here. BNN's gonna be able to get a shutdown kill over to another.
One enemy remaining.
Well, you can tell that the final player is just gonna be hunted. Kabir, his position's known, and up against the Neon, what do you really do to try to fight into him? Nothing really. Neon just bobs and weaves around, and your operator's just not gonna be able to find that bullet. 10-7 at Zerofrags. He send a message. They get a flawless round to send it as well.
There isn't a lot to worry about for the side of Zerofrags. Even if they lose this map, they're gonna have one more opportunity, and it does not seem like it's gonna be that easy for DLE to make them lose this map. They do have quite a good economy when it comes to ultimates. DLE might have to depend on that as well because they don't have the best of the weapons in the world. A lot of sound for F-Noob to feed off of. There's a tripwire.
Able to make it work too. This is bad. F-Noob, he doesn't need to run away there. He could have just stayed in that position.
Revenge.
Yeah, this was
revenge, yeah.
I was just about to call that position Shohid winner because in the Bangladeshi community, a lot of people just call it Shohid winner. I got so confused for a second. What do I call it in the other terms? I don't know the real call out, so a bit of a troublesome situation. For now, it's gonna be the players of DLE who are adapting their own strategies to try and stop this push from happening. Early fight, Lionel just cannot really do much because I'm Batman. Really need to find one kill for his buddy there, but the fact that it all came down to a 1 versus 4, you must seal the deal for the members of DLE. They take the victory and a 10-8 scoreline to play with. Zerofrags, they're making small mistakes here and there, but F-Noob, he's been having a very quiet game for this map.
That he has been. He's been trying to create those plays, but it just seems like he's been failing over and over. It's okay though. After having showed up on the last map the way he did, I wouldn't want to push that guy either, specifically when the team is already in the lead. With the Hunter's Fury already available on both the sides, it's still looking like a better situation for the side of DLE. And I think their positions are revealed already. Did the drone make it through? Yeah. Not easy.
We're able to make it here. Kabir. And for that first line, doesn't opt to go in for the spam back. Could have found the hit if he wanted to. Risky. Regardless, Zerofrags. They're working their way up. Flash was good. Perfect in that regard. So now it's all about the timing.
Camera taken out.
Not really finding the hit that they would have wanted. But F-Noob with the swing. He gets the cap, strikes to live. He's not going to be able to get out soon. For now, though, Leonin knows the exact position of the Cypher. Goes in for the first hit. Position. It to be revealed. He's on the angle. The stun is perfect. And it's going to be Hugh, who has that opportunity to run away if he wants to. But he still holds down the line. Good amount of damage dealt. But Elite, he needs to have the sixth sense to go in for the bullet here. Jerry made a small mistake, but even then, he's able to capitalize. As it's all up to Summer now. He gets the timing, gets a good patch over towards Hugh. This will be perfect. A perfect kill over towards the first. Needs to check out the player in towards mid. System breakdown. Not going to be the one to take him out just yet. Jerry in towards the back. The shot does connect, but Leon comes in for the big save. The backup is there. And both members of the attack are now together to try and go in for a full-scale retake. Leonin, he called out the bluff. This is perfect. He can now go in for the Hunter's Fury on the second try to hold down the spike. Paranoia to come in as a big clutch. And the hit is accurate. Zerofrags.
Nice.
They played that post plan perfection.
That they did, and it's impressive the way Zerofrags is playing right now. I don't think there is a lot of room for the side of the LE to actually go ahead and contest this. However, I would definitely want to see them try, because this is their map. We've been calling it their home turf since the beginning of the day. This is the one map where DLE can actually assure their win against Zerofrags, and the next map might just be another story altogether. I want to see that happen, but look at him, how deep in he is! Why? There's all the support in the world from the side of players of Zerofrags. I don't know why Batman has to go ahead and contest it alone. Both the star players from Zerofrags are gone for now. Yeah.
Question what the idea was even there on that mid side. There's one thing to take a duel very aggressively over onto one position, but to push yourself up that close onto switch, that's another thing entirely.
I do not like the fact that Zerofrags generally do get a little too comfortable, even on a scoreline that's that close, and then end up making rookie mistakes. Look at that. One judge for two criminals.
Make it 3 possibly. Whips out the classic to go in for a kill, but up against Leonin, it is not that simple. 11-9, ladies and gentlemen. It's members of DLE slowly trying to make this turnaround happen. With an immediate pause coming in from FNoob, they need to go back to the drawing board to really reset their mental to try and fight into this one. The overall setups have been a little bit, I would say, on the dicier side as well.
Yeah, kinda iffy.
But hopefully they can just try to go in for a proper game plan now. You can already see the pings on the map coming through, meaning that they're going to be possibly going for a stronger B hit with a little bit of a presence towards A. I'm guessing that they want to try and get FNoob into that stronger side position on A first, and then make the hit happen towards mid. This looks to be the case here for them. They're expecting a push to come in from the defenders as well on tiles, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
We should know once the match starts, which is going to be not too long before it does. It's a very proactive approach on side B from the side of Deadlift. They're way too far ahead, and they are being pushed out of side A area as well. It's a very forced rotation for Zerofrags.
They did it instantly because Kabir had the showstopper in his hands, but Inferno with the operator still going to be an absolute nuisance and a problem to deal with. And he's going to be able to shut down 2 in the process. The stun was gorgeous coming in from the breach. Elite, he has the setups that he needs to. Kabir in towards the back. FNoob, he's expecting it. They just need to try and run on away from him. Flash out, ready, in towards the back lines. Kabir's going to be able to find the first, but he's not going to be able to capitalize on the second. timing is everything, and they utilize the ultimate to its fullest. Turn around from the corner, and it's gonna be Jerry who comes out on top. Such a good ultimate to system breakdown. He made everyone look at him. And the fact that Batman turned around at the very last second allowed Jerry to go in for that double.
Absolutely, absolutely. Put them in a winning position nonetheless, and very close to the scoreline. Now it's just one more round and DLE can find themselves very close to making a lead for themselves. Zerofrags. That was a very well executed round, but the way the pace was under the control of DLE since the beginning just did not give Zerofrags any wiggle room. They had to react one after the other and were just left so baffled towards the chaos of it.
Right here.
The problems that just keep piling up now, don't they? Early for the shot, Batman tried to dodge out a flash, but there was no flash coming in for that angle at all. Turned around in the worst possible second, and he got caught for it as well. Going for the hit, runs across. F-Noob is going to be able to find the first kill, but gets immediately traded out in the process. System breakdown in for the back. He's trying to force his way up, but even that is not going to be that simple. You have the entry in for that A side, but for now, the plant now going through with the neural theft coming out as well. They know the exact positions of all of the players. The shots yet to connect. You doesn't really have much. Summer in for the back lines, has into the shadows to try and go in for a play if he wants to here. The jump shot. Not really as accurate. Summer good for the first kill, but he cannot capitalize on towards the second onto Inferno. The pre-fire was just better. 11 to 11, ladies and gentlemen, but a good chunk of damage being done overall for the economy, but does it really matter for the economy at all? No. Because Zerofrags, they've given away so many rounds that DLE are just completely stabilized.
Absolutely. The way DLE is playing right now, that's how I wanted them to show up since the beginning of the game. But well, better late than never. It could still be done and dusted before the overtime. Either of the teams can take it.
This depends on how well they utilize Batman, though. Early cage. Activated. On either side, the shock darts not really clearing out anything just yet. The trips are placed in very precarious scenarios. They're trying to hold on to B main without any form of tripwires because they understand that Showa's shock darts are just instantly gonna break them. Real risks here. But with the Cypher's position now known, it's an even more of a bigger issue. As F-Noob once again tried to go in for a swing up against an operator. He gave away his life for it.
A very crucial moment for both the teams. None of them wants to take the first step. Both of them just waiting for things to happen.
30 seconds left.
Mistakes to happen nonetheless. But the Zerofrags have to start making their move. They are on the attacking side. They will have to push at some point. And now is the point. The ultimate has been invested and then he gets shut down instantly. Batman could not squeeze any value out of such a big expense. DLE are just looking better on this map.
Absolutely. And to go down, he's not going to be able to get much value out of that one either. They are just done for. Inferno and Kabir just instantly run their way through in towards the side. And they are the ones who are at match point with an economic advantage, mind you. Kabir. This guy on the operator is one of the biggest cornerstones for this team. As soon as that op comes online, no one can stop him.
We had our doubts. Depending on how the game went in the first map. Depending on how the composition looks for this one. There is still a win condition for the side of Zerofrags. They have 3 ultimates online already. If and only if they're able to convert all three of them, they might find themselves in the overtime. Otherwise, we're walking onto the third map. This round could decide whether DLE is going to be able to close this right here, or if Zerofrags is going to find themselves get another opportunity to close on a 2-0.
They're in a very precarious situation now. Members of Zerofrags can't really be too risky with approaches that they want to go in for. Except for camera. We didn't get opened up here as F Noob. He's expecting that initial hit up. It's with the weight. Need to work their way up in for the A side. They're taking their time for it. It's perfect to say the very least, but system breakdown. His arm just showed up when he tried to go in for the smoke. That's a first big opening kill. Now they can take it slow. With the Omen no longer in contention, Batman needed to just leave. And he's going to be able to do so. Sun's out, it's already ready. Jerry takes a back seat and Batman's going to be the one to find it. Does get caught out by the Sova Owl drone, but that's completely fine because his teammates are already there and ready to come in for the save. And one by one, they get the round done. As the opening kill over towards System Breakdown was all that they needed to take the entire team out as well. DLE, they put all their eggs in one basket and played a little bit too overly aggressive. And the slow, methodical playstyle being implemented by Zerofrags in that very last round gave them the edge that they needed.
Totally agree on that, and with that, we are walking into the overtime, which can again give Zerofrags the opportunity to close this down on a 2-0. However, it does not look at all easy the way DLE has been going ahead and using their game sense of having so much experience on this particular map. All the aces up, Zerofrags' sleeves are falling down one after the other.
Cover going out.
Inferno now. It's his turn to come in for the big play too. Zef Noob. In for the first initial hit here. Is the entry yet to be found? Waiting on the initialization here as System Breakdown. They're waiting to find that opening kill off from the other side. Waiting to see how this one's gonna go from either side of these. As you can tell that this is a much more slower approach coming in from the members of DLE as well. They want to find an opening kill. Anyone that is going to try and peek into their waiting arms for this, but Summer, him being on this operator is just going to cause even more issues. Angle's perfect. The shot doesn't go through in time that he would have wanted. It's caught out, but F-Noob also not able to find the kill. Inferno. They get the opening that they need to just push their way forward in towards the B side. It was instantaneous.
Well, the plant has already been done, but there's not enough hold onto the side itself. They are going to be holding it from outside. But the operator that was recovered is so fruitful. It's a 2v3 situation. There's a Hunter's Fury ready on the other side, which is going to be utilized a little too soon, I would say. But still putting the situation in a 1v3.
Really done. Even though they had the advantage, the operator setup coming in from Summer was just in a little bit more of a precarious situation. You could have played a lot more tighter on the angle or even just tried to play in from Market, but instead, a one and done position coming in from Summer was one of the biggest problems that they had.
Yep.
With that, 12 to 13 was now initialized. A little bit of a technical pause being taken to just fix out and iron out the problems because Zerofrags, if they lose this round here, it's all but over. Map number 3 could be on the horizon.
This is looking so dicey at every single situation. You have no idea which team is gonna take this home. Till the last minute, till the last inch, they're just pushing and pushing, and you cannot determine who the winner's gonna be. It's just that difficult to predict.
This is exactly what we're here to see. On this 12-13 scoreline. The answers to each and every question will be found out soon. Will there be a possible victory coming in from the members of DLE with map number 3 on the horizon? Or will Zerofrags be able to turn things around from here?
We'll soon find out. It's definitely difficult for either of them. However, the more desperate requirement of this win lies with DLE. So does the advantage so far.
Smart breaks as well from the pause being taken. It caused some issues overall from either side. It's a really fight.
Oh, no.
Batman on the angle. Beautiful for the first initial bullet here. He's going to be able to find the kill. Jerry waiting to find a possible trade here if he wants to take the Zio, but even then, it's not always that simple now, is it? Jerry waiting on the angle. Flash in hand. Go in for the bigger fight too, but even then, it's not that simple now, is it? Run towards the opposite side of the map because Kabir did die out on this initial engagement. You able to find a good frag over towards the first. Batman takes the back seat, and that's equalized now. Both duelists taken out of the equation, but for the attack, they need to take this hit and run in towards the A side.
Jerry is definitely an important frag. Taking him out does give a lot of room for the players of Zerofrags. However, in exchange, F-Noob has also been taken down. There is 2-man loss on both the sides. But it being a post-plant situation does put players of DLE in a much tighter place. The location being marked constantly from the side of DLE. ZFR will have to be more cautious. Down to a 2v2. They still don't know where Q is coming from, and that's going to result in a loss. It does. But now it's a 1v1. Summer, will he be able to pull this off? Q is sticking. Summer is thinking it's a fake.
But if this works, if this works,
He doesn't know that this is half stuck already, but he did make sure to get his win. On to the second overtime we go.
Switching sides. Overtime.
13-13, ladies and gentlemen. Zerofrags, they are doing it. First initial push coming in from Batman was a little bit scary, but the fact that he was able to find the kill pretty much turned everything on its head. Kyo, though. Sad story for this one, Cypher. Nearly pulled out the clutch, and even when the odds are stacked against him and he's having trouble trying to keep things competitive with his team, he's still the one to try and opt to go in for that clutch, and he nearly pulled it off too. Brilliance of Summer gave them the edge here. System breakdown. Dealt the damage, and now they need to immediately run on away. No longer take that fight towards mid. Give that up to the attackers to try and play with it as much as they want. What's the game plan from here? DLE, they have mid control, but all the other portions of the map still need to be fought into.
There's no room to breathe for either of the teams. ZFR. Batman has already lost a huge chunk of HP in the beginning itself. Hence, no early aggression from his side, which is going to be a better thing for the team. All three players together trying to march in towards site A. Batman about to cross eyes. Gets his first pick. Q will be taken out of the charts. Knowing the Moombed is there, they know the presence of Kabir for sure, but won't be able to fight it off. Elite
Question.
misses his shots.
Summer took a very presumptuous engagement. The fact that he was able to get that kill was something big. Kabir with another one. He's able to find a second. The angle's perfect for him. The nade was even better. They're able to find the hits that they wanted here. And one by one, they're able to find the answer. F-Noob able to find a secondary as well. Neural theft not yet unlocked. Both of them are 7 bullets. The bullet count is pretty low. Inferno playing for the timing, and the swing is just better. This is Inferno for you, ladies and gentlemen. He is unbound. Burning through his opposition to take his team over to match point once again on overtime. As Zerofrags, once more, their backs are against the wall. To try and go in for a possible comeback here to send us into overtime number 3. Or will this be the closing thoughts for map number 2 with map number 3 at the horizon?
It could be either, it could be either. Both the teams just so ready to take on to each other. This time around being on the attacking side, Zerofrags just barraging in like anything. F-Noob tries to get an advantage, but then Batman gets traded off instantly on the other side. Still trying to capitalize on the numbers. F-Noob has to run away though. Gets sent back to the lobby instead. No active presence on site B has given them the room to go ahead and plant, but it's not going to be enough. Because they still have to win the rounds. The economy is no more a question. It's not about planting, it's about being able to hold on.
Not just yet how they're going to be able to do it. Stun was perfect! The swings coming in from either side. Good God, ladies and gentlemen. Zerofrags just turned themselves up at the very last second. A good swing coming in from Kyu, but he just was not able to pull the trigger on time.
Exactly, Elite was just so much more faster on his reflexes. He was swift. Went ahead, used his ability, came back, and still took the frag. I was scared for him for a second. Third overtime it is.
Overtime number 3, ladies and gentlemen. To try and see who's going to be the one to take it all away here. Inferno with the early drone over towards the defensive sideline. They wanted to take a duel, but they're just not going to be able to just yet. The stuns are perfect and Elite. He finds the opening frag. Gorgeously done. Now they just need to play it slow. Because a blast have been just insurmountable for them to play around with. Jerry tries to find the opening here for themselves. So as with the workaround. How much do they need to change things up? System breakdown. Looking for the first kill on the opposite side, and the spam is just gonna catch him out. Poor old Elite. He really didn't need to swing into that anymore. I thought he would just jump away, but instead, paper thin walls, Valorant working against him. Each and every turn. Recon Bolt in hand if they want to try to play a little bit more towards information on the mid side. They're gonna be able to get it too. No one present towards mid. There's a high chance they're making their rotation in for A. Smokes come through on the opposite side. That's the call. Nefnu, he needs to be the one to possibly find one at the bare minimum.
Ladle, unaware of the presence of Kabir, will get caught off there. However, the trade will come in strong. F-Noob finally in his element does not get as much capitalization as he was expecting though. Now it's Summer up against the wall. That's Q and system breakdown. Knows exactly where Q is. Q just wants to waste his time. Just a little too late for the side of system breakdown, but he has Shorty in hand. It's gonna be a difficult fight. That should be a single bullet though.
Shot!
Will be trusted and someone will be able to go ahead and defuse too. Okay, here's the problem. Both the earlier overtimes, DLE won the first round. Zerofrags is now going to be in a winning position because the second overtimes, the attacking overtimes have been in their favor.
Until I blind them to strike.
They're making it happen and they're making it work. This last shot coming in from Summer too, it was tight. There is no way you're going to be able to hit that, especially on such an angle. It's a difficult one to find up against a shorty as well. I thought that there was going to be a jump shot, but instead, look at Summer. The readjustment was so accurate.
Yep.
This is what it all really comes down to. The small individual plays a player can make to try and win out on a round. It's Batman. It's for the engagement. No real positions found just yet. It's F-Noob. For the rotations onto the opposite side. True. It's a calm before the storm once more as F-Noob. No longer trying to run on away, but the trades are still present. Inferno, he got the kill over towards the Cypher, but the thing is, he gave his own life for it. Inferno's been a massive thorn in the sides of Zerofrags, and the fact that he is gone just gives them an even more of a serious edge here. System breakdown, being able to shut down Summer over from the opposite end, but Batman able to answer back simultaneously. Sun comes through and another big catch. With the man advantage going in the favor of Zerofrags. The operator on the opposite side of the map, as long as they don't run into Kabir, this is going to be a very good opportunity for them to play into. Jerry on the angle. No one's expecting it. Batman needs to get this kill, and he should be able to do so.
And he does. It's a 1v3 post plant, that too with an operator. Caught in the tracks. We'll have to fight this off. Kabir will be able to win this. He has swapped onto a Vandal, but he has very little HP to fight off. It's a 1v2. I don't think there's much that can be done. Oh no, the time is running out.
They're done. I don't think Kabir can. Down to only 30 HP, the possibility of a comeback, the possibility of a third map just completely disappearing and shattering in front of his eyes, jumping around from the top rope. He's also gonna get spotted. And Leonin ends things off with a proper headshot at the end of the day. A grueling victory coming in from the members of Zerofrags right until the very end. Map number 3 was on the horizon, but the drive for victory from the members of Zerofrag was just a lot more deeper in comparison to the winning capabilities of Deadlift. It's tough, but this is what happens in the showdown.
Exactly. This was a beautiful sunset, but it did not result into any rays of hope for the side of Deadlift. Zerofrags just got themselves. It was a very difficult fight, but they found themselves on the winning side of it and closed a series that we all had our doubts about on a 2-0. Unimaginable.
That's what Deadlift can do, honestly. They were really at the cusp of victory. In multiple different rounds, it just came down to that 1-1 versus 1. If, only if, Summer missed his shot and System Breakdown was able to use that shorty to go in for that kill, it would have been a completely different story. Things could have turned around right then and there, but at the end, the attack side, when it came down to Zerofrags' team, was just so much better. The substantial approach to the way that they were able to break down each part of the map piece by piece, go in for the opening kills, be able to come out on top for the trades. The members of Deadlift were not able to do the exact same thing. They were making a lot more mistakes, and those mistakes just kept on piling up one after the other. And during these overtimes, overtime number 1, there was 1 or 2 mistakes that they needed to fix out. That's okay. They fixed those mistakes, and there were other mistakes that were piling upon those mistakes that they already made. It kept on happening over and over again during these overtime rounds, and you cannot have situations like this when you are going up against experienced players. Jumping on down over and towards the crucial moments, though, having veteran presences on your team to just calm you down is so crucial. Even if your team does not have the experience, having someone older on your roster just brings you together better.
That it does, and it's been very, very evident in the gameplay of Zerofrags. You can already see all the magic they were able to create, even on this map, which was not their call, which was not their pick, and technically did not belong to them. When the scoreline was 11-12, DLE was on the cusp of winning this. They could have closed this on an 11-13. They had all the advantages. And towards the end moment, everything just turned around. And that one extra breathing room that was created from the side of Zerofrags helped them close the map completely on a 2-0.
It's rough. That's the story of Valorant from time to time. Can't always be prepared for what's going to be coming next. In this exact situation, it's members of Zerofrags who just had the better driving force. Every situation where you expected them to take a possible loss, it wasn't the story here at all. Because players like Because I'm Batman, Summer, and especially Leonin, I think that Leonin, we haven't really talked about that guy as much in this particular map, but he gave them the setups that they needed. Recon bolts were perfect, the shock darts were accurate as well. He gave them all the information in the entire world required for this play to happen. But at the end, that's not all that matters, because you have to think about Deadlift. They're a team that really surprised all of us. The way that they love to be in the moment. Their adaptability has gone up tenfold compared to what we saw in map number 1.
Absolutely. It seems like Sunset is one of those maps where they have tried and tested so many things that they were never caught by surprise. Every single time they were finding some drawbacks, they were able to come back from it and again present themselves in a completely beautiful manner onto the map. But the way Zerofrags shut it down is just astounding. Astounding.
Truly. And look at the statistics as well. Yeah, the Batman just completely tore up the entire server, but look at the other team members as well. It's Sova coming in strong with 26 kills, Summer with 27. All of the players played out of their mind, and you have to give them all props for it.
True that. True that. Even on the side of DLE, there's amazing number of kills that got taken away. I mean, this was a 30-round game nonetheless. So we do expect there to be a huge number of frags that came in from both the sides. But yes, I definitely loved the presence of Q. He was always there, and same can be said for System Breakdown. Both of these players just found themselves openings which were so hard to find and resulted in some surprise victories for the side of LDE.
Just the strength of the team they were going up against. They just knew how to turn things around and just play for the picks better compared to DLE. But do not take this to heart. As a team, you can still perform well and come back even stronger for future tournaments. You went up against Because I'm Batman. The guy just entered into the competitive scene and he's already this good. He's a talent that you need to have.
Absolutely. And I mean, with 31 kills already, I think he's also going to have the next title. So let's take a look at the series MVP. And I'm sure it's going to be the same exact name with a bigger stat around there. Yeah. Expected. 82, 58 damage and 39% headshot percent. 10 first kills.
Rust of maps did well. Very well. This first kill statistic just goes to show his duelist dominance in almost every roundup. 40% headshot percentage is another big thing. Man has almost 50 kills to his name across both of the maps. The fact that he was able to do that, he's a face of consistency. At every moment I look at Because I'm Batman, even in season number 3 when he first made his debut, season number 3 and in season number 4, he was still performing in the most dominant fashion. What are you guys gonna think about it? Nothing stops him.
Totally agree on that. Completely amazing performance coming in from the side of Batman, and he's been a fan favorite for a while now. Like, even when I was casting with Auzora, he had great fandom for this dude. I came on desk with you, and you also have nothing but good things to say about him. I can see in action why that is. His game is just fantastic. The way he's going on and constantly capitalizing all these lobbies and dominating them. It's completely amazing. My favorite still is F-Noob though. Gonna say that.
Yep. F-Noob did perform really well, but in game number 2, he just kind of lost his way in more ways than one, but that's completely fine because all of his other team members, they just rose up to the challenge to fill in the missing gaps being left by FNoob. But FNoob, when it mattered the most, he really came back onto the strongest of me. He was able to turn things around, got those first opening kills for his teammates, and everything that made him great in the first initial map really started to show on the overtimes of the second one. They needed him to shine, and that's where he was able to turn things up. And I do believe that Kabir being on that operator was one of the biggest pain points for FNoob, because as a Cypher or even as a Killjoy, if you have to deal with an operator on those lurks and you walk into the operator sideline, doesn't matter how good you are as a player, there will be certain instances where you will get caught off guard and that operator will always find value.
Absolutely. And well, Batman is already on the level up leaderboard. Let's see how much he has leveled up with all of these points ranking up for him. I think he should be on the 5th position now. He's got all the way to the 4th. He's going to be in the top 3 soon. Just a 20.2 points difference.
Doing this one well. You can tell that Batman just is going to be going a lot more higher up in the leaderboard, that is for certain. But when you have players like 69G and AK Demon still being in contention, it's going to be a tough one to try and break them out of this opening. Nayori sadly are not going to be playing, so Caramel can't really fight for the contention of the number 1 spot. We expected him to be at the number 1. He was playing throughout the entire tournament, but sadly, not going to be seeing him here. But everyone else, they're performing wonderfully.
Absolutely. Summer is also on a run, trying to climb up as high as he can. He has acquired himself the 8th position on this leaderboard. Both the players do find themselves here and on to the next match as well, because they are going to be able to move forward on this lower bracket journey. Having kicked Deadlift out of here, they still have more matches to go. I think 2 more if they keep winning before the grand finals.
Absolutely. A couple more matches to see exactly who are going to be the ones to reach that grand final stage, ladies and gentlemen. The lower bracket run for today is going to be coming to a close. We're going to still have a bunch more games for you tomorrow. Do not forget, because the upper brackets is still there to be seen. Tomorrow we're going to have a lot more fun, that is for certain. But at the same time, to see exactly who's going to be making it through the entire thing, make sure to follow us down below, and links down below in the description as you're going to be down there as well. Make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell down below to not miss any of the Valorant action that we have in store for you from here at the Esports Club. And as you're going to be down there dabbling on those buttons, make sure to click a couple of the links down below from our lovely sponsors at Crucial by Micron, and of course Zotac Gaming, because if you want a graphics card, if you want an SSD, or if you want DDR5 RAM sticks, Crucial is your best bet. If you want to see exactly how to get the most out of your tech, gossip.gg has you covered with all of their lovely reviews for every piece of tech that you can imagine. And in my eyes, Ahana, that's all that we have for this particular matchup here. But do you have any more closing thoughts before we end this one?
Not really. I am just gonna take some time to keep my head wrapped around what really happened, because the way Sunset went, it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I have to watch it again. It was just filled with so many miraculous moments. And for everyone else in the audience as well, you can always go back and watch it. It was really great sharing the desk with you on this one, Aggressive, because you have all the insights that can, make the game look more and more interesting to watch. So that was definitely a win. But yeah, thank you.
I'm interested more in what the players are going to be evolving into down the line. The level of leaderboard does exist, and it just goes to show the progress of every single one of these players. Like, Batman started off as a player who just started in the competitive scene. He was he stated it himself. He was a YouTuber previously, and then someone called him up and he was like, yo, you want to play in a tournament? He took that chance, and now look at him. He's dominating on the tournament scene, even up against other teams. Previously, when he went up against Nayori, we still talked a lot about Batman because he was the one top ranking for his team regardless of whatever scenario. Given the time, given the experience, and if he's able to grind things out in that tournament fashion and keep it going for himself, this season 5 could just be his, because a lot of the other teams, they are playing really well, but I am yet to see a team really come together on that coordinated level similar to that of Ace, and now in this particular match to the fashion of Zerofrag.
I do believe that it was a great run from both the teams, and yes, we are going to be seeing more of Zerofrags, but that's going to happen on the next streams. Tomorrow is going to be yet another day for finding out which team is going to go ahead and which team is going to drop out. So stay tuned with us. Tune back in onto our channels at the same time, same place. We'll see you here tomorrow. Until then, goodbye.
When are you gonna upgrade your system? Alright, let's do this.
Once there was a hunter who saw what others could not. With a magic case in her backpack, she roamed with wild abandon into the great unknown. Her gaze inescapable, her reflexes lightning fast. When armies swarmed, she went through. With eyes open wide, hands steady, holding, watching, capturing everything in sight.
The Crucial Pro DDR5 RAM kit comes with a sleek, modern look that will complement any build. But aesthetics aside, it's the performance that really matters. So let's dive into it. The default JEDEC timings are 46, 45, 45, but it does come with 2 XMP and Expo settings for those looking for a little more performance. With XMP 3.0 Profile 1, you can push the speed up to 5600 megatransfers per second. If you prefer a slightly lower speed but tighter timings, Profile 2 offers 5200 megatransfers per second at 42, 42, 42 timings. We've run some benchmarks and stress tests to give you an idea of how it performs. In general, dropping the speed and tightening the timings with the second XMP/Expo profile yielded better results for us on our test system. Paired with a Ryzen 7800X 3D, we saw anywhere from a 1 to 5% performance bump depending on workloads. All in all, the Crucial Pro DDR5 64GB RAM kit by Micron is a fantastic choice for first-time builders and enthusiasts alike.